I can settle down and be doing just fine till I hear an old freight rolling down.
Thanks for joining us, Rob. Glad you found the place okay.
Yeah, no worries at all. It's just down the road, so to speak. So.
Absolutely. So you're up in Mount Duneed?
Yeah.
Between, for those who don't know, it's between Geelong and Torquay, where we record the podcast.
Yeah.
And Foundation 61 is your organisation?
Well, not mine, but
No.
yeah.
Did you found it, or did you?
Yeah, I'm part of the founding five, as we're known. Myself, my wife,
Yep.
Warren and Wendy Gibson,
Okay.
and Johnny Pelkin.
Yep. Okay.
We had experiences in another rehab,
Yep.
working in and stuff like that.
Yep.
And so we just took the best things from that when we started and went out on our own.
Yep.
And that's how we sort of began, if you like.
So five of you.
Yeah, the
five,
founding
okay.
five. So
The founding
I
five,
always
yeah.
get the credit.
Yeah.
The reality is
You're one of
anything like
five.
that, there's always a good team behind me.
Yeah, okay. And that earlier, sorry, Scott, I was just saying that earlier experience you had together at another place, was that locally or
Yeah.
Geelong? Yeah,
Yeah, it
okay,
was
okay. So,
Way back there, that was all 25 years ago.
oh, okay. Oh, shit.
So, yeah.
So then how long is Foundation 61?
We started Foundo 21 years ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't realise that.
As well.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
when
well,
we started the
congratulations.
program.
That's a good effort.
Thank you.
20 years already. Yeah, well done.
Yeah, I had hair when I began. No, I didn't. No, not at all.
Well, I had dark hair when I began.
Yeah, plenty on the chin, just not on top.
Yeah.
So we're talking about, so Foundation 61 is residential rehabilitation, is
Yeah,
that right?
That's
Yep.
right, yeah.
So your clients, for want of a better word, are former drug addicts, alcoholics. Is that kind of it, or is there other?
No, there's all sorts of addictions and
addictions. Yeah.
people who just come in because they're burnt out with life in general.
Okay, so they don't necessarily have to have an addiction. They can just be like stressed, like just breakdown kind of situation.
Trying to re-establish, find out who they are.
Yep.
In life and where they're at, so to speak.
yep.
Chance to reset, if you like,
Okay.
rediscover themselves in the journey of life.
Yeah, yeah. So, I know where Mount Duneed is, but I mean, Mount Duneed's quite a residential area in parts now. I'm assuming that yours has a bit of a rural aspect to it, so people can
we're
feel like
still
they're
over
getting
in
away
the
from.
green belt at
Oh,
the
yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Of course, there are those who'd love to change it, but I think we're pretty safe for the next 50 years.
Okay.
The girls' house is just up near the Mount Duneed Pony Club Reserve up that way, and the boys' house is way down the end of Williams Road.
Right.
And again, rural, there's 40 and 60 acre farms around both properties.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Do you own the property? Does the foundation own the property?
Both the properties, yeah.
Yeah. So you got some
the
say in
boys.
what happens.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
got a total say
Oh,
in what
good.
happens.
Yeah.
Burrell or One Hope Church owns a large percentage of the actual physical property at the boys' house,
Yeah.
which has been great because they stepped in that way nearly 20 years ago
Yeah.
to keep us safe so that we didn't lose the property back in those days. It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's the physical property, the program itself.
Yeah.
We totally own that. We're not government funded, and so that gives us totals so we don't have to comply with
Yeah.
different agendas and things
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that. if you
yeah,
like.
okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I imagine there's a fair bit of pressure or eyeballs on you from developers in the area.
Yeah.
Looking at, rubbing their hands together, so wondering how they can get their hands on it.
If they can get near it, they'll find out that it's not going to go cheap
Yeah.
because we know that we hold the good weight because of the simple fact nobody wants a rehab centre in the middle of their property development.
Yeah.
So our property's actually worth quite a bit more on that basis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully they just stay away and leave us alone.
Yeah, worth a lot to the locals that as long as you stay there. I'd imagine anyone else who's on a couple of acres, they'd be very happy to have you there and not have houses all around them.
So there's no way of getting some sort of council or government kind of protection to say this is something that the community needs and, hands off? No.
I don't imagine so.
No.
Councils don't really have that kind of sway, I don't imagine.
No, it'll come down to
and
state
the government, we
yeah.
try, well, in so many ways, we stay away from them.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, they have
the less-
different ideas regarding rehabs than what we do.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the council will be looking at, like, essentially, I'd imagine, Scott, land use planning. So
Yeah.
it'll be the broader concept of what the land's being used for rather than the specific function of it, I think.
It'd have to get rezoned through state council.
It'd be a zoning, planning, permits, or planning process, probably.
Yeah.
I'd imagine. Yeah.
So, very much so.
So you just said, state government have a different idea of how rehab should be run as opposed to what you guys do. So what do you guys do that makes it different to what state government might want to do?
State government for funding and all that sort of stuff, the way that they perceive it is to go for, say, the likes of harm minimisation programs,
Right.
and stuff like that. We go for, while they're at the program, total abstinence.
Yeah.
Gives them a chance to
Yes.
sober up and have a look at life.
Yep.
Life's terms. We're also more, I suppose you'd put it, relational.
Right.
Kind of a service, like the people that come to us sort of become in so many ways part of the family.
Okay. Yep.
You know, they're not just numbers. And, we're very relational. We reach out. We have the corporate program.
Yep.
But then we join and walk with the individuals as well.
Yep.
Like,
So if you had state government help or whatever, anything like that, you're going to have to start ticking boxes. You're going to have to start meeting certain criteria and all that sort of stuff. And this gives you the freedom to do it the way you think is right. Yeah,
exactly. And we're a Christian ministry as well, so that's also harder to marry up anyway. And we sort of, our ethos is
so Rob,
significantly different.
So no government funding then at all? No. Well done.
Certain aspects, a couple of the education parts of our program get a thing because we're a learn local organisation as well.
Yep.
So we get a little bit government funding, if you like.
Look, that local learning network sort of whatever is funding.
Kind of like neighbourhood house.
Yeah. So I know what you mean. Yep. Grants.
Which works
grant-based.
well.
Something. Yeah, okay. And that doesn't
That's
impact
based
your
on the
ability to do,
No,
that's broadly because you're a learning organisation. You're eligible for that. Yeah,
or
well, that's good.
pre-accredited training, so which is good.
Yeah.
You know, and even there we don't have to modify and create learning programs to suit any other organisation type of thing. Or
exactly. So you're able to do what you want to do and you need to do. Yeah, good.
It's very important to us to have that freedom.
Can I just ask about the scale, Scott, of this, Rob? So by the sound of it, you've got a men's facility and a women's facility. It sounds like it's residential, both?
Full-time residential.
Full-time residential.
Minimum commitment, 6 months to just even come in the door. Commit to 6 months.
6 months minimum.
And full sobriety.
Shit.
Yeah, go away.
And full sobriety, complete.
No, nothing like zero tolerance. Oh, that might sound a bit harsh.
Yeah. Instant death.
And 6 months.
It's the way we look at it,
Instant
if they go out for their weekend.
Expulsion. Right.
Yeah, we don't actually kill them. There's no second chance.
Okay.
We don't do kangaroo court, budgie died, so therefore, I had to go and use.
No.
Don't help that. Out you go. Maybe come back in 3 months' time or 6 months' time or whatever. But there's no...
That's the end of that.
Yeah, it's not baseball.
It's got to be 6 months and it's got to be clean.
Yep.
One block. No, okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, everybody tries to take the liberties and stretch the boundaries and, you let Freddie off to have a beer and I just had a marijuana joint. It doesn't work like that.
And the numbers... maximum numbers in each facility, men and then women?
The boys' house, men's house has 15 full-time live-in.
15, okay.
And the girls' house has 8 full-time live-in.
Okay.
And 2 of those bedrooms actually have children's bedrooms as well inside their little units, if you like, because they got their own shower as well inside of they're pretty much self-contained in the living quarters. The kitchen, they don't have their own kitchen. That's out in the main house.
Yes. Yep.
And they're 5 kilometres apart. for the obvious reasons.
Yes.
Razor wire and moats with like sharks in it and stuff.
It's another form of it can be another form of addiction, I have to say.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
The girl's house has the fence around it, a big high fence, and the boys' house doesn't.
Yeah.
But that's not to keep the girls in.
Yeah.
Just as much to keep the boys out
And keep
just
them
to
safe.
Girls safe.
Yeah.
Because
So some of the women in the women's section, do they come from a domestic violence background, perhaps?
Can do.
So they're probably getting protected by whatever's they're leaving behind. And
yeah. But that's we're rehabilitation primary.
Yeah.
So if they have domestic violence issues, and say if they're trying to escape domestic violence and need somewhere to live, then we refer them over to domestic violence organisations, which is a lot of them in Geelong for women, which is great. But a lot of our women have experienced domestic violence and part of it through and because of addictions sometimes.
Because of the environments they've been in.
But then again, some of our guys have been suffered from domestic violence as well.
So,
it's complex. It's not always what it sounds like. It's not always just, the women are the victims and the men are the perpetrators.
Correct.
Sometimes it's the other way around.
We don't really talk about that much, do we?
No, that's right.
It does occur, and I know, not to the same extent, I know, but it does occur. There's an element, and there's a
Something
percentage.
that came up with our conversation with Mary O'Brien, too,
Correct.
didn't we?
We have spoken to people before about this, that men can also be victims of domestic violence. Not quite on the same proportion or percentage, but it can happen.
That's right. And just as devastating for the victim either way,
of course.
Male or female.
Exactly the same. Exactly the same impact.
So going back 21 years, what did I mean? So put a timeline on it. 21 years ago, Foundation 61 was started, but you said there was a precursor to that. Remind me again how long that went for.
That one was running for years. My role in that lasted about 3 years.
Okay.
And then I started as a volunteer in about 2000.
Yep.
And then sort of support worker type of thing, then ended up being in charge of the place. Because the predecessor to me burnt out as well. And so I ran it and I ended up doing a lot of hours in there because it was a little bit understaffed, under-resourced.
Okay.
And I burned out probably 2002 or 3, somewhere there. And spent the next couple of years sort of convalescing, if you like, trying to get back on my feet again. And during that time, to jump back to where Bando came from, was we being Christians and stuff like that, we had a men's group. And started different churches had different people, so we ended up with the drug addicts and the mental health guys in our group.
Right.
Me and Warren Gibson, and there was 12 of us, and we decided we could sit around and talk about Jesus all we liked, or we could get up, make a difference and help. And that's where Foundation 61 came from, was the men's group.
Yes.
2 of them decided they'd become the first guinea pigs, if you like, participants.
Okay.
With the limited knowledge we had. And the other 10 of us, we borrowed a house, and the other 10 of us put a 24/7 program around those particular 2. So that's kind of how it began.
Okay, interesting. Interesting, isn't it? So it shifted from what was primarily a focus around religion, like ministry sort of, and into a more practical life focus with the same values behind. I'm assuming still good sound Christian values driving it, but a more practical approach to
what
make
they call the hands and feet of Jesus, so to speak.
What's it called?
The hands and feet.
The hands
of Jesus,
and feet.
the
hands and feet of Jesus, doing the work.
Get out of the pews and into the streets type of deal.
On the tools, mate. On the tools.
Up in the coalface.
And so you said you borrowed a house. You you rented out a house to start with.
Warren and Wendy. We all started, but Warren and Wendy went to Bible college up in New South Wales. And that was great for us because we just borrowed their house down in Whittington.
Yeah.
You're right.
While they were gone for about 8-9 months.
Yeah.
To get us started, which was very generous of them. It was great. So we started in a little court just off Solar Drive there, and drug addicts either side sort of thing, dealers either side.
Yeah.
And we just tried to stay safe inside of that little 3-bedroom house.
Yep.
One for the overnight volunteer who was on at the time, and one for bedroom for each of the 2 guys that were living there.
Yep.
Couple of weeks in, we had somebody living behind the couch and other people knocking on the door type of thing.
Wow.
Trying to get in because once we started, the word started to
Word spread, yeah. Yeah,
And,
this was a safe haven or a place for another opportunity, a second life, I suppose,
Exactly.
And then, so how did that then spread into, was there another property or did you sort of end up straight to Mount Duneed from there? How did that transition happen?
And there was an in-between property, Boundary Road, just over there at Grovedale, that we ended up renting, a bigger house, and they had about 6 or 8 bedrooms.
Yep.
And so we heard about that towards the end of the year when Warren and Wendy were coming back, and we had to move out anyway. They sort of wanted somewhere to live. It's pretty selfish. I want to move.
Wanted their own home back. Yeah, that's a bit tough, isn't it?
But, sorry, what are you doing? So.
What do you mean you're back?
You can't share. But we found this place, filled it up, and it was just around the corner from Narana. It was on a small property that we had part of it, but it was a big house, and that was a couple of acres. So we filled that up. Then they kept coming, so then we had a couple of caravans on site, and it was starting to spread, and we were starting to get a bit nervous.
Yeah.
Then somebody donated an old bus to us, so we sort of put a wall in the middle of that and had 2 guys living in half a bus each. So I think it's starting to look like a gypsy camp.
Yes.
It's getting a bit ordinary.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the second year there, I think we heard about this place out at the end of Williams Road, and did all sorts of manoeuvring and stuff like that because that was owned by a government funded organisation at the time. But they had got the funding to buy the place, but they never got the funding to run the place.
Right.
So we were able to run it.
You had the program, yeah.
And that's when Baptist Church stepped in and helped us buy the place off them, which was a bit of negotiation as well. Because we couldn't afford to buy it. We had no funding. So they helped buy it. And away we went.
So the church, okay. So you've got a property now. You got to actually build some dwellings on it, right? So people you've got to build some.
The boys' house was established. That used to be what's called originally Restoration House. Then it went over to Time for Youth, and then we got it back.
Right.
And there's again Restoration House, but in the first place it was built for troubled kiddies down by Torquay churches and different people from Torquay. Made it happen, and that was there. But they couldn't keep it running at that time. So they sold it off to the government, who couldn't run it anyway. That's how we ended up with it. So it was changed hands a couple of times, and we were very fortunate we got hold of it. We were wrapped.
So it was a youth program initially, when it was first set up, church-based youth program.
Church-based again, and its original concept and the build, everything like that was that, and also just the hearts of primarily Torquay people and community to support it and fund it to build it. So.
Do you have any age regulations at all around your service? You're essentially an adult service by the sound of it.
Essentially
adult, Or parents with kids, But 18 and up.
The ones with the women and children, they can only have children up to 5 with them.
5 years of age?
5 years of age,
Yes, okay.
Otherwise, they start getting a bit too old. We don't want sort of 13, 14-year-old boys in the middle of girls trying to do rehab.
That makes sense.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we've got to keep everything and everyone safe in that one.
Yeah, it must be difficult where you have to sort of exclude certain people, but I understand you've got to set certain boundaries and say, okay, well, this is what we've got to stick to because this is what works, right? Yeah,
very much so.
It's interesting you say, we were very fortunate or very lucky. This has come up kind of before, hasn't it? When we talked to Kane Nuttall at the Paranew Project and how, I don't know if you know what Kane's doing, so if you know Kane, but
probably do.
We had him on as a guest, and he said a very similar thing, I was very fortunate that this was given or this was offered.
And lucky, but
I feel like if you're doing really good things in the community, then hopefully sooner or later somebody's going to recognise it and offer something to you that helps you achieve what you want to achieve, right?
And if you work your ass off, Scott, that's the other thing. Like these guys have been a little bit like, we're a bit lucky, but you think they haven't put and Kane's the same, haven't put the hard work and effort in and had years of experience to get there and worked hard, So it's a combination of both. There's maybe a little bit of luck, but there's a lot of hard work required too, isn't it?
For sure. Yeah, I think so,
Yeah, and like you're saying, it's all about the work, the heart of it all. And when we say lucky, I suppose it's people with a similar heart with the heart and concern for, say, in our case, the drug addicts and stuff, and with Kane's mob, different things, they align themselves and are willing to support what they believe in. We've been, again, I was going to say very lucky, but
or somebody needs to support the people the rest of society doesn't seem to want to or know how to do anything with or to help, so somebody's got to help them and you guys are it.
And that's, again, part of the bigger system and build it all. Not everyone can get in and volunteer their time with drug addicts, alcoholics, etc., but some of them are financially equipped and they can hop on board and help out that way, And with us, a lot of our programs run by volunteers, overnighters and all that sort of stuff. We consume an awful amount of volunteer hours, if you like, through the course of a week. We've only got skeleton staff running through the day and everything like that. The volunteers come and run groups, do overnighters. They're there for the girls and the guys, all that sort of stuff, doing appointments, whatever's needed. So, again, people are aligning themselves, not necessarily that much, those ones for finances, but they're able to hop in and help out there and walk with the guys and girls. And not all of those have addiction pasts either, which is great, even though they don't have drugs and alcohol familiar, so to speak, but they just care enough to step in and give up some of their time, some of their life.
So people who come to you, obviously the word's out there, word of mouth, that you've been going for a long time, and you were saying even in the early days people were sort of just rocking up once the word got out. Is there a particular pathway that people need to come through now? Obviously you've probably got way more demand than you've got ability to look after. Obviously, you said it's got to be a minimum 6 months, full sobriety. Are there other kind of requirements that you look at? Is there an interview? Like, how do you sort of filter out? How do you get people to? How do you filter the people that end up getting accepted into the program?
Yeah, that's a big one. Again, there's something you never get right all the time. You try your best. We do look for people that have a desperate heart to want to change their whole world. We get people who come along and go, I want to come into rehab, but why do you want to come there? The judge told me if I go to rehab, I don't have to go to jail. And we just go, that's unfortunate.
Goodbye.
You go.
Because they're not genuine.
That's not what you're after.
We don't want people who are just backpacking, and we're not an urban jail. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Careful, we try to be. Very careful that we only bring in people who desperately want to be there, because that way the whole community at both locations are heading in the same direction.
Yes.
Everybody is on board.
Yes.
And everybody's looking for the same goal.
Got that same level of commitment, the whole lot of them, and they're all there together, and they're living together and sharing the facility together. So you want them to be on the same page, don't just like a team. It's a whole team effort.
Because then you get a better result overall.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a better result if everyone's playing by the same rules.
It's an interesting model, Scott, isn't it? Because probably as well, Rob, I don't know, you might comment on this, but it's probably a bit like a team. You know, they're in there.
For sure.
They're up against it.
Yeah.
You know, they're up against it. Those guys, they made a huge commitment. They desperately want this to work. And so does the bloke beside them, and so does the bloke beside them, or for the women, you know. So they're all there, and they're probably, you know, bouncing off, holding each other up a bit as well, are they, as well as the volunteers?
So. Yeah.
Probably. They're getting energy out of each other. Yeah, motivation.
The whole environment, the community, if you like.
Yeah.
And that's where we do differ from government institutions. Well, we don't have to bring in the court-ordered ones and appointed ones and stuff like that. And we do have the right, if they're not suitable for our community, so to speak, by their behaviours and actions, we ask them to leave.
It's a big...
Whereas government, it doesn't work like that.
No, well...
They give them to you and you...
That's right.
Stuck with them.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy for you to say, Rob, like that sounds relatively simple, but what a task to get that mix right. That balance is absolutely critical, isn't it? So you've got to be so confident when you're going through the process. Scott mentioned before about will these people come or not. You're thinking about all the people who are in there and will this person fit, and that actually will it work? Because it'll only take one mistake and the whole house could come down, couldn't it?
Yeah. Well, nobody's going to get well if there's somebody keeping them unhealthy through fear on the property. You know, if I bring the wrong person in and their behaviour and character are creating a very dangerous, if you like, environment, nobody is going to get well because they're all too afraid to be open and honest to take the journey of recovery. So we keep a big eye on that.
I imagine after 21 odd years, you're getting pretty good at reading people when they walk through your door for the first time.
Yeah, I had some successes, but I still get it wrong.
People are interesting, aren't they? People can be interesting.
I'd have the magic formula. You know, he ticks this box, this one, and this one.
Yeah.
That's the thing with humans, isn't it? You know, they're all different. They're all unique. And they're never like they present on the brochure, are they?
No.
People, you know what I mean?
No, they're not. No,
they're never. Short aside, I do a bit of hunting, you know, and it's very hard to find new places to hunt when you're new to an area. When I've moved around a bit in my life, so it takes some time to get the owner's permission to go onto a property. So I remember going to an old guy one day and said, "Look, I'd like to just come and shoot a rabbit. I like to eat rabbit. I'd like to shoot a rabbit, get rid of some pests for you, and that sort of stuff." And he said, "Well, that's okay. There's some rabbits down along the creek there." But he said the ducks breed down there along the creek. And I said, "No, that's okay. I understand there's a duck season, that sort of stuff. No, I won't. I wouldn't shoot ducks out of season." He said, "No, that's right." But he said, "Nobody does the right thing all the time."
Yeah,
that's right.
And I said, "What could I say? But no, you're right. None of us do the right thing all the time, do we? Like, no matter how you present, you know, little things like that, and it can be very difficult sometimes to read people like that." I'm just wondering, Rob, that process of the decision, is that a shared decision between the management team, or does one person go, "Yes, this person's in"? How does that work on each?
Primarily, it's usually one, maybe two of support staff.
Yeah.
We have one or two in either house that are focused on intake.
Yeah.
And hopefully getting better and better skilled at intaking, so to speak. They got processes they follow, questions they need to ask, and you know, get to understand the person while they're doing it. You know, it's more how would you put it? Conversational. In the way that we discuss whether or not they're coming in. It's not, you know, fill out these 20 forms and we'll see whether or not you tick these boxes. It's
how they present in.
Just as much as about the who is coming in.
So it could be one-on-one or two-on-one sort of thing, that process?
Yeah, one-on-one quite often.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, that's a good effort.
Yeah,
obviously I guess they're doing although it's a 6-month term, so it's quite a long-term program, isn't it? So you're not there wouldn't be a lot of churn and turnover if you. I'll come to that in a moment in terms of success, but so you're not going to be doing thousands of people a year, in terms of trying to read them.
We've got a lot more apply than what we can bring in.
Yeah.
So if just in the perfect world, the boys' house was everyone came in. 6-month program and it's 15 beds, there's 30 people a year.
Yeah.
So to speak.
That's right.
That's if everybody stayed before 6 months,
that's right.
etc.,
Yes.
etc.
Yes. Yeah.
The girls is half of that.
Yeah, I
They're
you said. Yeah.
So do you find do people only allowed to stay 6 months, or do you have some people that can stay longer if they want to?
We've had people stay over 2 years.
Okay. Right.
And that's again where we differ from other organisations is
You don't
that
keep
while they're doing rehab until they feel safe and stuff like that, and provided they're doing well. Yeah.
So the 6 months a minimum. You're not going to get out of here, no matter how good you are. You don't leave here until for 6 months. It's 6 months. You've got to give that commitment, and then it can be.
That's how you get in.
That's how you get in.
Sometimes they stay 3 days and go, I didn't realise I had to do so much work.
I didn't realise I couldn't smoke this.
Had a little fairy at the end of the driveway that taps you on the head and makes you all well. No, that's why they're called participants. They're there to participate in their own recovery.
Interesting. It's a very interesting model, isn't it? It's a very interesting model.
We're very unique, actually, in what we offer.
Yeah.
And we have a very high success rate.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you mentioned that word because, sort of talk about metrics and success and failure. Be careful about talking about failure. In cases like this, these people are, had a really, to get to your stage, they've had a tough life, and to give them every chance to get a new life going is difficult. But how do you feel about your success with your model? You're happy with your success rate, and how would you describe it as
never
success?
Happy until it's 100%, of course.
Yeah.
In comparison to, we believe we have a very high success rate. Before meths, it was easier to quantify and stuff like that. That was going back, 15 years. But the further we go, meth has become a bigger and bigger problem. Back in those days, we would have been running up around about 50%.
Yeah.
Which is 5-10 times anything else that's going on
in that sort of space, in rehab, as a rehab measure.
Quite often you see it on different websites, especially with the private ones. We had this. It doesn't really.
It's hard to measure, isn't it? I mean, what is success?
It's hard to quantify.
Success is different for different people. Like, somebody might, do the 6 months and then come out and not use, or have a great life in 6 years, and then something happens and they fall back, or you might never hear from them again. They might have a great life for the rest of their life, and sometimes good news, no news is good news, So
sometimes,
so you just it's a hard measure. To quantify, isn't it?
Yeah. We look at in trying to quantify and understand what we term, as you say, Freddie going well once he leaves. Yeah. Where's he at with his safe family relationship and stuff like that? Doesn't mean to say he and the wife have to get back together, because that's not always the best thing for the children anyway.
No, correct. Yeah.
But how is he able to take up a role in society, work, function as a contributing member of society, be if you like, a decent father, whether or not they're all reconciled is not the point. Is he a good quality of person
in his role as their father? Correct. Yeah,
because his input's all important. Like I say, not always does it mean a good thing that they're both put back together. Sometimes for the kids' sake, it's best that they're separated. Actually,
for sure.
Yeah, so all those little factors come into it. Whether or not they ever drink again or what, even that's not actually a quantifier. I still drink. Even though I spent 30 years being pissed and stoned. I can pick up alcohol or put it down. I can have a half a stubby, or I can have a couple of stubbies. I don't touch drugs because I remember the hell and the nightmare that I lived through before it. So, I'm terrified of that stuff. social drinking.
Yeah.
And also, if I suppose I dealt with enough of my own demons that I don't need to be tranquilised. So, totally different reason for picking it up in the first place.
So do you, and it's you and your wife, do you guys live on site or you live separate off-site now?
No, we live on site at the girls' house now
yeah.
because that place, for security and keeping the girls safe, because it is a rural environment, we always felt that it was a good idea to have a male presence overnight.
24/7, you've got someone there,
That way there's, not a, if you like, a heap of vulnerable women at the end of a dirt road in Mount Duneed. It's very well protected. The security around is fantastic. There's 23 cameras on the place. So, because, and even the guys, but with girls, you never know who their partners were.
No, correct.
Or,
that's right. Correct.
You know, go back into the world of domestic violence, what kind of persons out there.
We know too well. Don't we? We know too well the horrific stories of men finding women and what can happen, and they'll find the really bad, wrong men will find them. So you need that.
And you're talking about they're coming from a drug and alcohol background or environment, then the chances of those kinds of people in their life is escalating quite a lot, isn't it?
Not just their partners, friends, family, extended family.
I mean, Rob, you'll know more about this than I do, but often it's generational as well. So they've got addiction because their parents have had addiction and so on.
Very much so.
So on it goes. Yeah.
We've actually got a mother-daughter combo in at the moment.
Yeah.
And, so they both come in for rehabilitation.
Together,
and so they both come and doing their own program.
Two adult women. You say mother and daughter, but both adults,
not mother and child.
No, yes, I understand.
Mother-daughter. So, but that's working beautifully, actually. We're stoked with that, the way that's all running, because that's a new one to us. We've had, at other times, we've had brothers in together. But generational, very much so. We get the stories all the time. Dad injecting the daughters, the sons, selling the drugs to the sons, getting the sons to do the drug runs, and daughters as well. It's a pretty messy world out there.
It's bloody big as belief, doesn't it? I know, you think about that. Like, that's devastating, isn't it? I think that's happening within families like that. Jesus.
I mean, the people who have to go into those environments, the counsellors, the family service, but also the coppers,
the emergency services, ambulance, all these people.
These first responders that they go into these environments and see the stuff that we're protected from. I guess in a lot of ways, we know it's there, but we don't have to face it every day. And I mean, you more so, Rob. You will see it because these people are coming to you. But Brian and I, we know it's there. We know people who see it. We're just not. We're not in it. And then there are other people who are even more removed from it than us, including, unfortunately, a lot of our politicians. Who are too far removed from it because they're the ones that should be going to the front door, and seeing this stuff standing behind the copper or whatever, who has to go, go to a domestic violence dispute or a court, I should say.
Upfront contact would
make
open a lot of people's eyes, and they'd see things differently.
You put a rocket up their ass, I reckon, if they make better decisions.
And often they just stay blind until it turns out to be one of their family. And that wakes them up.
Well, it's easier, isn't it? Like it's too difficult. It's too hard. If you can avoid it. In that role, like I'm a politician, you can imagine going like, I don't want to know. I don't need to know about this. I'm trying to. It's too bloody scary.
Stick the fingers in the ears and go la 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 la.
So, Rob, I'm just thinking as we're chatting about the time. So, 20 years plus, you've been running this model. And I know we're not just talking addiction very broadly or just really challenging life circumstances. So the sort of the nature of your client group over that time, men and women, any obvious shifts in more men, less women, or obvious shifts in one type of drug or one type of addiction or more homelessness or other challenges? Any movements that you've noticed in the 20 years you've been there that's different now to when you started?
The primary one is the increase of methamphetamine.
Yeah, okay.
Cheaper to buy. It's a nasty drug, if you like. It's not a clean drug.
Yeah.
And it's a very dangerous drug.
Yeah.
In comparison to, say, in the old days, and I've got to watch how I say this, the typical alcoholic would give his woman, say, a clip around the ear. And I'm not saying it's good at all, not at all.
No.
But nowadays, with meth being the way it is, and as dangerous and as dirty it is, they're actually pulverising their women, so to speak, and vice versa. You know, it's just very, very dangerous.
It's almost a psychotic level of violence.
It's psychotic, and that's where the end of the road is. You move your meth along the road, and eventually you end up in the Swanson Centre or the like, because you fry what's left of your neurons, so to speak.
And is that affecting men and women, boys and girls, sort of equally? They both seem to be taking up this particular drug at the same rate? Is affecting sort of? Yeah. At what age? I know you're dealing with the 18s plus, but are kids experiencing this at an early age?
12 and 14-year-olds we're coming across.
Right at the start of end of primary, secondary school stuff.
This is where we're getting it. And some of the ones we have in the house, that's where they started, the younger ones. So they started back there at the school age, grade or year 9 or whatever it is, age. And sometimes, like I say, it's the family members supplying it to them. And then by the time they get to us at the end of their age, 5 or 6 years later, they're already destroyed, you know.
And if your parents are supplying it to you, then, you know, there's never any thought that this is wrong, is there, really? I mean, it's what you've grown up with. It's what it's
exactly
normal. Becomes normalised, doesn't it?
Normal,
So you don't have that voice in the back of your head going, "Oh shit, I should be doing this," or "I should be slowing down," or, you know, it's just the normal thing to do. Your mates are doing it probably too. You know,
mates are doing it, families doing it, and this must have been the world I'm born into. This is the way it should be for me, I suppose. But it doesn't stop the hell or the horror.
No. I'd like to go back a bit, Rob. You'll have I'm sure you've got a backstory that led you to this. Like you mentioned, booze and marijuana and stuff like that back in your past. Like, you happy to talk about your addiction in the past? I know I've read a bit online about it as well. So we find people like Kay Nuttall, that they tend to have a backstory that led them to this point and want to help. So where did you grow up? Did you grow up, you Geelong or you?
I was born in Geelong.
Yep.
In so many ways, a typical split family type of thing.
Yep.
My mum and me all moved up to Queensland when Mum ran off.
Yep.
And we lived up in a place called Wynnum in Queensland.
Yeah.
I was there by the time I was about 7.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And went to school there, didn't fit into school, so to speak.
Yep.
I had an older brother. He stayed down in Geelong with the old man,
yep.
Who I never really met, so to speak.
Okay.
The brother or your dad, you mean?
I sort of know the brother. If he walked in here, I wouldn't know it was him.
Okay. You wouldn't know,
because that's, we're long time
so
separated.
Long ago, you were so young.
Yeah, but we went to Queensland. I didn't fit into school. Where we were was housing commission and all that sort of stuff, and single parent children weren't really welcome in that community or neighbourhood so much.
So we're talking a rural neighbourhood, rural Queensland.
It was suburban.
Oh, okay.
But we were second house from the swamp.
Okay.
So Brisbane?
Yeah. Wynnum, just outside of Brisbane.
Just as a suburb of Brisbane.
Yeah, Moreton Bay there.
Yeah.
Oh, Moreton Bay, okay.
And sorry to hold you up, but when you say you didn't fit into school, was that because you were new to the area? Was it just that you were different to the other kids? Like you weren't? Yeah.
I was. I suppose in those days I would have been diagnosed ADHD, so I was pretty much a little bugger.
Yeah.
Going through school, by the time I'd even left primary school, I'd been to children's court 6 times.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, Mum was a barmaid. She wasn't home much of a night time and stuff like that, so
Up to
my
mischief.
brother
Yep.
and we were free to roam the streets and stuff like that, break into houses and different places, shops and stuff like that.
So had a younger brother went with you.
Yeah.
There was 2 of you and your mum, and then the older brother stayed here with Dad. Okay.
Yeah. So,
okay.
you know,
Yeah, so just getting into strife, or wandering the streets.
I was just, I suppose, what you call a bugger of a kid. And it wasn't Mum's fault or anyone's fault. It was just, I was just...
Why your brain was wired. Yeah.
And, like I started smoking when I was 7.
Yeah.
And,
Tobacco, we're talking marijuana or both?
No, it was just cigarettes. At 7.
Mum smoked?
Mum, only at parties.
Yeah,
Stuff like that. She'd smoke, but...
Because my parents smoked. In the 70s, everyone smoked, so you're grabbing fags out of your dad's packet and hoping he won't miss it. And,
Exactly. Yeah, hope you don't get caught.
It was normalised. Yeah, everyone smoked. Mum and Dad both smoked.
Yeah, so, that's where I suppose that started. And then he had a trouble with the coppers, wagging school. I had an issue with teachers and schooling and stuff like that from a very young age. Couldn't settle down in school. And, just started to roam the streets. That went on and on. Eventually I went to work at the age of 14. There's a guy there, he had a car and all that sort of stuff, and he was older than me, obviously, and so he'd take me to discos and pubs and clubs and that, and started me drinking and things, and I'm going to be too pissed one night, and he decided he was going to try and rape me. That wasn't too much good.
Okay.
So that was, I suppose, when my addiction world really fired up.
Because of that trauma.
Trauma there. Like I had stuff going on before that. It wasn't totally, it wasn't the one event. And so I found out, like so many people, that if I didn't want to feel and think about all that stuff, I'd just get pissed and hide behind that, And so that's where it started. By the time I was 15, probably I would have been an alcoholic.
Wow.
Then, sneaked along about 15, sniffing aerosols, smoking joints, and on and on that goes. And eventually snorting speed, then injecting speed, heroin and everything like that. The road just unfolds. It just sort of... You end up on the road and you don't realise that that's the road you're on.
Almost inevitable there. It just rolls out in front of you.
Yeah,
that's just the track you're on. Yeah.
As you're trying to run from life, life's issues and everything, and start to hide from your emotional self. And that's what it's all about. That's where it always ends up and comes from, is that we just can't live with the emotional baggage that we've collected in so many different ways through our life, even at young ages sometimes. And so we just try to tranquilise that part of our self out.
So was there a point or a person or, somebody, a time in your life that made you see things a bit differently, that kind of pulled you up a bit? And, what was the catalyst to then going, okay, I want something different for my life?
And when? How long did you go on until you got that challenge?
I was pissing stayed for about 30 years.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So, shit, really?
So we're into it.
Wow.
You're into your, 40s by now?
Still 40, pretty much.
Yeah.
And still in bad nick, in bad shape.
Bad nick. I drank myself through two marriages by that stage. And it was the second marriage when that collapsed that I started thinking about getting help. But it was before that I'd already lost one daughter to a cot death, another one drowned when he was 9.
Okay.
And even then, I was in that sort of condition that rather than try and deal with it, I just, my big decision at that time with Rick when he drowned was to get drunk and stay that way
Yeah.
until I died.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was my solution to life right there.
Anaesthetic, your own anaesthesia, just to wipe it, all the memories out.
Facing the grief, just run from it, essentially. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, drown the sorrows.
Yeah,
The trouble is, little buggers swim them sorrows. You know what I mean? And when one day you sober up like I did,
Yeah.
7 years later I sobered up, so to speak.
Yeah.
And by crikey, they were good swimmers by then.
Yeah, they become monsters.
I had a lot of work that I should have done, because you never take the grief journey while you're drowning it, so to speak. And so it all just sits there. And then when I sort of, if you like, floated to the surface of my addiction and stuff like that, I'd already given up heroin and everything like that. And previous to that, say 5 years earlier or more.
So it's booze at this stage, alcohol.
Back to booze, yeah.
Booze, yeah.
That's how I got off the heroin. I went back to Queensland and became an alcoholic again, so to speak. And then,
So you're able to give up one thing, but you had to take on another, or booze was always there, or always still there. So you still had the booze crush still on. Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, you switched the witch for the bitch, so to speak, and got away from heroin and that, rather than try and go cold turkey or do detoxes or things. I never thought about doing that stuff anyway. Just like I say, just moved from Victoria up to Queensland and went back on the alcoholic with my old mates from Queensland. That was my solution. And so I buried two of my children, wrecked 2 marriages, both good women. Just a bad choice of husband. That was their problem. And that husband was me, you know. And I went until I lost my second wife. And by that time, life and myself, I'd become a total mess. And so I thought, well, I'm sick of these amber counsellors, you know, the backslappers at the pub. They tell you have another
the
beer,
amber
mate,
counsellor,
you'll be
how
right,
you're
you know. Should be right, when I knew it wasn't going to be right. And I went off and I saw a counsellor, and she talked to me a bit about different things, and finally, after all that time from that guy trying to molest me when I was 14, say by this time I'm 40, I finally told her what had happened, and I never told anybody else.
It was the first time you disclosed that to anyone?
Yeah.
To the counsellor?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was...
even your wives?
I never told them, no, heck no.
Yeah.
In my day, where I come from, the mindset that we had meant that if somebody tried to even violate you like that, meant that you're a homosexual type of...
So you're the...
I'm trying not to use
partially
another
your
word.
fault. Yeah, you're partially your fault.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking.
Perceived me as one of those, so to speak.
Yeah.
In my day, it was bigger than, you know, it was as big to be seen like that as the event was to me.
Right.
So I hid it. And I had to get drunk, if you like, all the time and stone just to hide my secret. So I did. Yeah, the women, nobody ever knew.
So that was obviously a bit of a turning point, being able to disclose that to that counsellor. That was the start of this journey of recovery, I would feel like.
Yeah, very much so. That was right there, right then.
Interesting,
I suppose the freedom I felt from sharing that event for the first time, and, you know, taking it from the dark of my back of my mind where I tried to hide it all the time, and speaking about it, I felt a sense of freedom. And that's when, I suppose, the road to my sobriety, if you want to call it that, started to unfold. The more I had a look and unpacked all the stuff I'd been trying to hide over the years, the less I sort of needed to drink. Like I say, I still drink, but now I don't need to. I just...
you do it for a bit of enjoyment.
Social enjoyment,
That's right. Just... I'm not driven to drink by the boogeyman in my head.
So to get from that point, from being, you know, a fully blown alcoholic, to a point where you can just have a stubby or a couple of beers here or there, was there a period where you had to give it up?
I was sober. I was sober back then. Where was I? I suppose suppose I was sober for about 9 months or more. As stuff sort of started to fall off me, and as I found freedom, and then I went back, and I made mistakes when I went back and drank too much, and then had to kick myself around a bit and belt myself around the head. But it was you doing the belting around the head. You didn't have anyone else sort of there saying, "Hey, pulling you up." It was all self-imposed. Pretty much,
But you obviously knew you wanted a better life for yourself.
And I knew that by staying there, I was heading back down to the hell of a life that I had. So it was quite often that. It just unfolded. I saw the freedom, if you like, that I found by speaking it out and talking with other people, healthy, balanced people. And at the same time, I found Christianity, so to speak. And that was my little new community, away from the community that I'd formed of alcoholics and drug addicts and stuff like that.
Separated.
A safer space with that stronger community. Okay.
Was there a point that Christianity came into your life? Like, did you walk into a church, or did you meet somebody that introduced you to it? Or?
The therapist, she was a Christian. And she asked me about my views of God and Christianity and all that sort of stuff. But I'd always had a quiet, if you like, secretive wondering about it anyway. It's just that I always assumed that God was there for the good people.
Oh, really?
Type of thing. So, I wasn't going to a church or anything like that because they'd see me coming type of thing. That's not what God was.
It's like a powerful institution,
Oh, the old joke, if I walk into a church, I'll get struck by lightning.
That's right. The roof caves in,
There's one of them bloody sinners hitting with the lightning boom. So I tended to stay away, but and she sort of just asked me a question one day. That's not what, she said, what if he's not there for that? What if he just wants to get to know you? And I suppose it was that one question that triggered me into going, I wonder,
Okay.
And so it was a question, and I started to inquire in my own time, sitting in the dark by myself, so to speak, on my own, trying to figure out what this world was all about and who I was in the world. It was that, and I looked at the freedom in sort of speaking things out. Very quickly, that's when I started to build, if you like, the vision and the urge to go and help other people, because I saw how, after so many years of being trapped inside addiction, how this was a pathway out, and this is what I found, and it's what worked for me. And so I decided to share that, become that. I went off to Bible college for a couple of years so I could become a good, knowledgeable little salesman of what I was trying to peddle, so to speak. You got a used car salesman that doesn't know his stuff.
You got to know your product.
Yeah, exactly. And I was so finding this freedom. I thought, this is great, and I'll be the best Christian anyone's ever met. Anyway, I went down that path the wrong way and became the worst Christian I've ever met. But there was that, and the counselling and therapy, I understood pretty quickly how it was and what she was trying to achieve in me, and by asking the questions. So if I went and did counselling courses and stuff like that, I ended up with a degree in the stuff, and ended up being a therapist as well. It's good to ask the right questions. And that's how sort of the journey, the transforming journey, if you like. I did 2 years at the Reformed Theological College just to start it all, and if you like, that was my rehab in so many ways. But sometimes I'd get pissed all night and go to Bible college next day.
Yeah.
To be honest, you know,
Yeah.
it was
That's right.
quite
It's a student
confusing.
journey.
Yeah.
Plenty of priests do the same thing, don't
Well,
they?
it's a student, isn't it a student journey as well? Well, when you're like, you know, as a young person at uni or whatever, and you do your studies, you know, you have those things happen too. You know, you fall off the wagon or whatever you call it, and you know, occasionally.
Well, I never hopped back on the wagon. I just went to Bible college, but eventually, you know, the balance moved.
Yeah.
But that was quite it was life changing for me.
And was this back in Geelong now? Were you?
Just over here in Ward Street,
Oh, okay.
Reformed Theological College.
Right.
Sorry, guys, use your name in vain there. Whoopsie. There you go.
Yeah.
But
And then that led you to doing the volunteer work for the other organisation, which
I started doing lifeline counselling, if you like.
Oh, yeah.
Because the way I look and the way particularly that I presented in those days, it was better that I did it over the phone than face to face.
Yeah.
You know. So I did that for a couple of years, and I thought this is good. And then at the same time, we started a Bible study group, and we could see fruit and growing in there. And the guys, like I say, all the guys were drug and alcohol, so to speak, mental health issues and that. And we were all taking this journey together, and we were all getting better. And so then from there I went off to volunteer at the other rehab, and it just sort of snowballed and became more and more all the time, and consumed more and more of my life too, to the point where I would only work a couple of days a week just to pay my bills and go and volunteer and do rehabby stuff for the rest of my world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what was it? I wonder, like, was it something about imparting your experience and knowledge and helping other people? Or was it just something you're not even sure about that drove you to do this? Because it is a big commitment, isn't it? Like, you know, you're giving away a lot of your financial, obviously, you know, your finances to do this. You're not getting paid to do the volunteer stuff, and you're working only just to cover the minimum. Can you put your finger on what that is that drives people like yourself to do this?
What drove me primarily was looking around, particularly at the people I knew and others in there, and what was needed for me to see a way out. And if you like, that's I knew in my way part of the answer will come this way. Follow this route, you may get out. And in there the passion grew. You know what I mean? The heart for it all just started growing.
You followed a path that you saw to lead you out of the where you'd come from and where you didn't want to be anymore.
And the heart for the others was still stuck there. So I'm heading this way, and you follow, come with me. You know, let's go.
Okay. So leading by example, really. Leading.
As shonky as I was. And that's honest, you know. Dodgy as. But a whole lot of us got out the other side, so to speak. Fairly good nick.
There was this sort of I don't know, a few years ago. You'll tell me the year. And look, you strike me as a very humble man, Rob. Like, so it must have been very quite an experience for you to be nominated for Senior Australian of the Year. How did that come about? What year was that? Firstly, 2000.
I can't remember.
No, okay. It was a few years ago. Like it was maybe 10 odd years ago or something like that.
No, not even that far back, I don't think. But that wasn't the first time I'd been put up for it. And that was amazing. That was, I call it geriatric of the year because I ended up in the old men's category. So I got nominated there, and so. It was drugs and alcohol and what I've been doing in that. And that was good and it was brilliant, you know. But I was in the old men's category, so I got nominated for the Geriatric Award of the Year, which was great. But that was fantastic to be there.
Nice to get some recognition for the work you've done and the good things you're doing for the community.
Yeah, but also, like I say, with everything, even getting nominated for that, it's always the team behind me and the people around me. Like, the other day I was at the Local Legends Awards down here at Torquay. That was just last week, I think. Yeah, last week. Okay. And I got a little certificate for being a local legend.
Wow, okay.
So I'm a legend in my own lunchbox as well. There you go. But I mentioned that in as much as that was Volunteers Week, and it was great.
Because,
we're largely volunteer-driven, and that's where the beauty of the ministry in so many ways is, to the people that come and help out. And with that too, I say the beauty of the ministry, but not all our volunteers are Chrisos, and it's a good way to keep it too.
Yeah,
keep it balanced.
I like that idea. Yeah, I like that idea of that diversity.
You've got to have that.
And what about your residents, clients? What's
participants?
What about them? Do they have to be Christian to be a part?
No. And often we get a lot of people going, "Oh, you've got to let me in. I'm a Christian." You go, that's fine and dandy. However,
that's
no expectations. No expectations on them to become a Christian. That's an invitation of your own personal heart, and the journey you take is yours, so to speak. We don't have the right to Bible bash anyone into shape, and we're very careful with that. They do go to church on a Sunday morning, because I can't run programs for 15 different guys. You're heading in 15 different directions. But they're told you don't have to stand up, you don't have to take communion, you don't have to this, don't have to that. Sit there, some guy just go there and read a book. That's fine. You know what I mean? It's just part of the program, but it's all free choice.
But attendance is compulsory. Attending the church. That's interesting.
Through all the program, they've got to participate in everything. It's not a supermarket.
You no choice. I'm a bit interested. We might come to the program in a minute, actually. I'm interested in the model as well, how it actually works day to day. But sorry, Rob.
So, like I say, I got one guy on shift. If they go to church, or they go to two different churches, by and large, and so that way they can understand that it doesn't have to be this church, and that's the only place that's got God, because the girls go to different churches, of course, and there the twain shall meet. They go there, but it's not, I don't want to go to church, I'll just stay home. No. But like I say, they're there, they don't have to become little angels. And sometimes the ones that do become Chrisos in the program can often become a bigger pain in the bum than what the ones that don't want to be.
Interesting.
They want to flap around like little angels.
I've got all the knowledge here, guys. Watch me. I'll show you what to do in church, because this is my go. I'm the leader here now. You can imagine that. Interesting. Which you're going to
shed off to the heavenlies. And fair dinkum, it's come on guys, settle in. It's not like that actually, but there's always the enthusiasts. But, as I say, even the best of our angels have buckled wings. The end of the day, they're broken, hurt people, learning to relive life, so to speak. Some choose the spirituality of life as well, and that's good if they embrace that. But if they don't, we don't force it upon them at all.
Scott, I'm not quite sure. I just be keen now to follow on that, because I've been thinking about this. What's the day-to-day activities, and the participants are that you've got to be here for 6 months, and you've got to participate. You must participate. So there's one element of compulsory participation. You've got to go there. What you make of it is fine. But what else? What are the other parts of the activities? How do they get through the week or the day, Rob? Who? You've got volunteers there, I know, but I notice on your website, which is a fantastic website too, by the way, I'll come back to that in a minute, but I really enjoyed looking through some of the stories. It's a very good website.
That's a shout out to my wife, Caroline, there.
Does your wife do the website?
Yeah.
Oh, it's outstanding. I think it's a really good website. Really lovely, easy accessibility and some good stories on it. Sorry, slow aside. But so back to, I know there's volunteers there, but you've got paid staff as well, obviously, or specialist trained staff there as well.
Yep.
So what are some of these mandatory requirements to be a participant over the 6-month period? What is it? What are these things that you must participate in?
Well, the program runs primarily Monday to Friday.
Yep.
Out of bed at 7:15. Get ready into the gym, bike riding, bushwalking, or something at 8:30.
Physical
activity start.
Monday to Friday, every day.
Yeah.
Volleyball, whatever's going on for the day. Bushwalk, anything, and that goes to 9:15, and they got a chance from there. They got till 10 o'clock to do their washing, make their beds or whatever if they haven't already done so. Have their brekkie. 10 o'clock till lunchtime, there's a group, whether it's a life skills group, personal development group, yard maintenance even. It's always something. 12 o'clock, they have lunch. 1 o'clock, back into another small group of whether or not it's art therapy, again, life skills, personal development group. Every day, Monday to Friday. Wednesdays, their recreation time, so they go as a group all together off to play mini golf or whatever they choose to do. You go and see the lighthouse down the coast there. Anything. But
the full group, are these groups
stay together?
So would this be the 15, if there was 15 participants there at the one time, that would be all 15 would be doing this together as a group?
By and large,
So that's building that team thing we're talking about before. Everything they do, they might be doing have some slight different choices, but essentially they're all together in that group right through the day, every day of the week.
So we've got a good, at the men's house, we've got a good mechanic shed, metalwork shed, and woodwork shed. So on, say, Tuesdays and Fridays, that's those 2 days. We split them in half. That way we don't have, say, cooking's on Tuesday. We don't have 15 people plus trainers in the kitchen.
Right.
We've got Group A, Group B.
More manageable.
And so pretty much after lunch they switch over, and whatever was doing woodwork in the mornings, doing cooking in the afternoon, and vice versa. That's a lot safer. All the girls travel together because there's only 8 of them. A small group of 8 is quite manageable.
Yes.
But when you've got a lot of people moving around in activity-based things, 15 does become a bit...
So you've got some on-site stuff you're talking about, but there's also off-site activities and this Monday to Friday thing, like they have a recreational day and go out and do stuff.
That's right,
And then we come to the weekends. And
weekends.
what happens Saturdays and Sundays?
By and large,
Sunday church, I'm assuming. We mentioned you have Sunday morning church.
Visitors throughout the weekend, they can have their visitors come and visit them.
Family or friends can come and see them?
No friends.
Family?
No, family,
Family only.
And as I was saying before, you get family members injecting the children, so to speak. And then you get, you don't want Harry the dealer turning up. This is my mate Harry. And Harry's off his head stoned. Trying to keep the community clean is pretty difficult. So they're all supposed to be direct family members. Although I think a couple of them sneak themselves in as second cousins twice through me, and turn up looking like they're bombed off the head, and a couple of times we've had to say, no, mate, look, go away.
So this, Rob, I can say the reason for this is I'm just thinking through the week's activities and stuff. This is because they could have people very close. They could have family really close to them. Like they could have a partner at home who's really worried about them, and they're doing this together, but the partner's at home. So the partner wants to come and see him. How you going? How's your week been, don't they? Because they haven't got it. Any access at all by phone or to family?
Have phones, so they all get their phone call each day to their loved one. Type of thing.
But no face-to-face visits outside of the weekend. That's when they do that.
Pretty much the weekends. Otherwise, it's people coming and going, people sneaking stuff in, and all. So it can be very messy in interactions. But we do try in our own way as best as we can to reunite family members. We look at that as one of our successful parts of the program is reunification of families. sons and daughters getting back with parents that they may never have seen for the last 10, 15 years type of thing. But quite often we see that if somebody's in the rehab doing the right thing, parents and family start to come back. And that's reunification. It's beautiful. It's very important. And we sort of pride ourselves, if you like, on that quite a bit.
So a bit of a hypothetical for you, Rob. So say, for example, just wondering if somebody comes in and they meet all your requirements and they're goers. You want them in there and you want to give them a go. But they have a pre-existing activity that they do on Saturday afternoon. They're a member of the Surf Coast Footy Club or something like that, right? So they play footy on Saturday, but they've got all these other things going on. Would they be able to go out and participate in a joint activity like that outside?
No,
not in the 6 months.
No,
you go back to that when you've done your time here.
After the first 10 weeks, they have a weekend leave, and then every 3 weeks after that. So if they want to reconnect with the footy club, so to speak, on their weekend out. That's their business, but they also know if they mess up on their weekend out, don't even bother coming back because we don't negotiate.
I imagine not too many of the participants that come to you are in a position to be playing footy on a weekend. They're probably a bit beyond that, I imagine. Then probably not in a lifestyle situation to be doing much
probably not an
social.
That's very
their
true.
social life's probably getting on the piss or taking drugs.
It's bad. That's the behaviour. You don't want that.
They had that back in the past, but the drugs, alcohol, or whatever it was,
that's what
it's taken them away from here. Hopefully one day they'll reunite with their footy team or whatever.
But you're part of the process of them being able to do that. Is there a story behind the name, Rob? Foundation 61? I imagine it's got some significance.
Yeah, good question. Yep, Foundation 61 Foundation is when we get somebody comes to us, we're looking where are they at in their foundations, emotionally, psychologically, physically, where's their mental health, where are they at, what is their emotional hurt, the pain that they're carrying, because if you work on the foundations and get, if you like, the shit out of the foundation, then they can learn to stand.
You've got to get that foundation solid, sound.
That's it. The 61 comes from Isaiah 61 in the Bible, which is the holistic verse of Christianity, if you like. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me. He's anointed me to proclaim the good news, bind up the brokenhearted, to set the captives free and release from darkness for the prisoners. So you break that down. The bind up the brokenhearted, of course, is the emotional baggage that they're carrying, the hurt, the pain, that they turn to addiction to drown that, to tranquilise the hurt and the pain that they carry all the time, to get away from the shame, the blame, the guilt, to set the captives free. And people all think, they're in prison all right to drugs and alcohol. That's not what it is. It's acceptance rejection issues that they're held captive by. That's why they're tranquilising that, the emotional self. They're tranquilising that. And if you look at the darkness for the prisoners, part of it, just, this is in context, contemporary type of breakdown of it. That is what they believe in their mind, the darkness of their own mind. I'm not worthy, I'm this, I'm that. Life is horrible, it's always going to be this way. What they believe about themselves is the darkness for the prisoners. That's the way we look at it anyway. That's, if you like, that's our underpinning ethos.
That's your interpretation of that in your practice. I get that.
Because they live in a world where shame, blame and guilt, their inner critic, if you like, is persecuting them 24/7. They wake up, it's there, putting themselves down, feeling bad about themselves, remembering past events, traumas and everything like that. And, reliving the nightmares. So that's why we look at people that way, embrace them that way.
I'm interested in. I don't want to. I don't want to get too. I don't want to get political or sort of. stray too far from your mission, if you like, but I wonder if you mentioned ice before as you've seen the difference. Sorry, meth, but I'm assuming you mean ice.
Is that ice? Yeah, I was going to ask that question actually. That's what I was assuming too. You talk ice, which is
you've seen the prevalence of that. It make a huge difference. But are there other things in our world? Are there other things in society that you think is contributing to, this darkness of people at the moment? This sort of or do you think it's always been there? Is it something that's always been there? Is there something, relevant to now that you feel is making things worse? Or
I think there's a lot of negativity growing at the moment, to try and keep a community, like, say Torquay, Geelong, Victoria, in a healthy mental health state is all important and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In there you'd find a lot less people going down that pathway, but primarily it's where they come to in themselves and their own self-worth and value. So, that's when it breaks down.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a lack of self-worth or the lack of self-value that makes them turn to alcohol or drugs or addiction, I should say, because they don't see themselves worthy of a better life.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I've never met one in there yet that knows who they are.
Or their value or their worth. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Or what they're capable of.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And what their true heartbeat is, their true quality, their inner self, if you like.
Yeah.
They've never met that person. They've spent their life, if you like, playing charades or building a masquerade of this is who I am out here to protect the wounded person on the inside, so to speak. And so that's where they spend their life out here. After a while, the wall gets that heavy, it crushes them.
Scott, I was thinking when you asked that question, I was thinking, I wasn't sure where you were going to go when you started talking about politics. But one thing that springs to mind for me in that, and I'd be interested in Rob's comments on this, but the prevalence. But you talk about the negative, the overwhelming negativity in the world, and the role of social media, for example, in that. Are you seeing that impacting, particularly with younger people? Like it's just like that's a really can be a really evil part of this. What we're talking about now.
Reducing self-worth.
Reduce self-worth, having dark thoughts in their mind, all this sort of stuff from the terrible stuff on social media. Is there is some of that evident in your participants, social media influences? Yeah.
Put that right up there with domestic violence, the damage that it actually causes, particularly to younger school-aged children and stuff like that. Their self-worth is bad enough quite often as it is.
It's tough as a young person, isn't it? Without that.
More so by a bunch of other little 14, 15-year-olds.
Holding on the other side of a phone,
starting to stalk them or whatever they do. I actually don't do social media at all.
Is there any rules around that in that? No. They're allowed to have their phones, allowed to do it?
No, they don't have their phones. They get the phones if they need to, and if they go out for the weekend, they can take their phone with them. Yeah. And they can do whatever they like on their silly little phone.
Yeah, but not while they're in care. Yeah.
Oh, crikey, getting their phones are the cheese. You know what I mean? They'd be ringing their dealers and they're we were playing Dear Abby and all sorts of other things going on.
Oh, back in our day, you could learn to fight and you could punch the bully on the nose. My man said the bigger they are, the harder they fall if you stand up to bullies. But now you can't. They're hiding. They're hiding behind these screens. You don't know
that's right. All the time.
And
it's relentless. And especially a young one getting cyber bullied. And then other people hop on the same thing. It's not just a one-on-one punch in the nose anymore. It's getting pack attacked, if you like, and little people who are struggling with self-worth, young people, they can be just soul-destroying for them. And a lot of them carry that when they arrive. It was all validation, so-called, or rejection issues from others around them that cause them to be like that. The rejection, acceptance issues they carry.
It's a particularly modern problem, isn't it?
I don't know. I was interested. You're talking about your experience with your dad and the bully in the school. You had old tech school boys, me in the 70s. It's pretty tough, pretty brutal. But it was physical, and it was sort of done and dealt with. And you lost and you moved on. But I think it's different for women. I can't speak on behalf of women, but I've got nieces and granddaughters and daughters and things. So I sort of experienced them. That really, really tough. Some of this is really tough on young girls. Really tough on young. The social media seems to be taking even a bigger toll because they, they take no prisoners. Young girls through that period, once they seem to get a set on a young woman, they can make life really, really tough for them and destroy them through social media. I'm sure boys cop it as well. It's not just about, but I think girls in particular, they seem to be able to gang up and be really hard on young women. Horrible stuff.
That's what I've noticed in talking in therapy with different women and guys over all these years. That the women are, like you say, relentless. They don't back up. They can shred them.
Through that social media stuff, it's horrible.
Well, one thing I think I'm interested to see if you see this, Rob, is with phones and young men is the gambling now. I think that's become a massive problem. Do you see a bit of that as well?
Very much. The gambling, pornography. It's all at your fingertips. You know what I mean? So.
I think I heard that they banned Pornhub in Australia now. You can't. Then again, you just get a VPN or something. I guess there's always ways around these things. It's like the under 16 social media ban. Like you don't have to be half savvy to know how to get around it. But the gambling I know is taken over the lives of a lot of young men because it's But porn, you mentioned that too. Didn't even think of that. But that's another thing that's right there at their fingertips, and it becomes consuming and addictive, and damaging,
Very. You watch that, the gambling and the porn, you watch that destroy families, where all of a sudden the wife's he doesn't exactly need to have a mistress, he's got porn. It's all, part of the bigger picture.
It's like he's having an affair with
destroying the relationship. Either way, it's having the same detrimental effect on the relationship. It's still destroying, isn't it? Whether it's a virtual or an actual relationship.
And she's in bed with him, and his perverted attitude towards sexuality.
It's not realistic. It's not based on any kind of reality.
We get a lot of that at both houses where the woman might feel that she has to perform at this level to keep the guy interested in her. And he's trying to turn her into, if you like, a porn queen to appease his fantasies type of thing. It's a big thing.
He's been doing it since before he was a teenager, probably watching porn.
Nowadays it was just a penthouse magazine down behind the Dunny block at school.
Playboy magazine.
The centerfold. Oh, wow. Nowadays on porn channels.
It's violent. That's frightening. It's frightening. It is. It's awful.
Rob, one of the things that I really like about what you've said so far, I like everything what you said really, but this seems to me your program is like really, really practical, really like a really practical and also very demanding, setting high levels, high expectations, really disciplined. People coming in, you're strong discipline, but then it's also a very practical program. I like the sense of that. So I'm not surprised that you're getting, if you're careful about the people coming in, you're getting high levels of success rate here. Because I think I can see the right person coming in with the right motivations, got a better than 50-50 chance of getting through them, getting a new life, I reckon.
We had fantastic results. And some of the success stories, it's just beautiful. You watch them go on through life and you go, right, there you go, look at that. Got his kids, or she's got her kids back. You can see it come together, working the way it should have been working in the beginning. You watch a person come alive. That's the joy, if you like, of working in this and being in the middle of all of this.
Well, it sounds to me like we often talk about community at all sorts of levels when we chat on this little podcast. It might be a footy club or a cricket club or a pub sometimes even, little local communities for people. part of your success here, I'm absolutely certain, part of the secret, you're providing a community for those people. There's a real local community. It's intensive. Yes. It's an intense community, high expectations, but you're giving them a community, a sense of community inside there for that 6 months. Again, that's part of the success, and might be, again, a bit of a pointer to other programs that operate on another level, a more institutionalised level, if you like, for example, with a broader set of expectations, why they might not succeed to the same extent. Yeah. Bring it down, bring it back down, make it more basic, make it more practical, get it down to smaller groups and people being, forming communities for periods of time. I think you're really onto something. I don't know if there are if you might be able to syndicate this. Look, we could do some business, Rob. Maybe we can talk it. We can talk after the show. We might be able to sign up something. But
franchises and something.
Let's do some franchise because there wouldn't be a part of Australia where this wouldn't work, and absolutely would work, and particularly in remote, potentially Indigenous communities, coming out of their own beliefs. I'm sure they do this sort of thing. This sort of model of small, intensive, focused opportunity could work anywhere in Australia, couldn't it? Do you know of others that operate along similar lines, or
they're close to, but not the same.
Not the same.
But even if you look at our logo, just underneath Foundation 61, it says a living community.
Yes, I noticed that.
And in there,
that's
where it is, like you say, as opposed to an institution.
Yeah.
And that's what government offers up, because government is
correct.
Supports.
That's what they are, don't they?
So,
correct. That's right.
Whereas we try and operate a little bit out of love and all that sort of stuff, all the mushy stuff.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Rob. Thank you for everything you do for our community, and thank you. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, thank you for your I don't know. I know you wouldn't see it this way, but thank you for your sacrifice for what you do, because this has become your life, and you've given so much of your life to help other people. So I think it's super important. I wanted to actually, Brian. I haven't, and I didn't give Rob notice of this, and I haven't warned you that I'm going to maybe introduce this question into our second lot of 50 episodes. Since
it's a new question that every guest.
Yeah, I thought we've never had a common question of our guests.
Okay,
and so
Rob's our first. He's our guinea pig. You're a guinea pig, Rob, because you're our 51st. You're our 51st guest.
Okay,
we've had 50 guests. Last week was our 50, so we're our 51st guest over about a 12-month period. But we've never had one consistent question.
You're about question that I thought we'd do it.
We haven't talked about this.
No, we haven't.
We haven't
talked. I'm going to do it anyway.
You don't even have a prompt as to what the answer should be.
And in future, I'll probably warn the guest that Rob's going to be a guinea pig. I wanted to ask Rob, if you could go back in time and meet your 14-year-old self, would there be one thing you would, piece of advice you'd give your 14-year-old self?
That you're not alone, that you are loved. But the trouble is with him at that time, he didn't know of love by anyone else.
He might have listened.
He didn't know that he needed to love himself rather than just go and get the poor little bugger pissed, so to speak. That was his shot. But looking back into it, that's what he needed to hear right then. Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah. I'm sure plenty of people that age, boys at that age, did or do. Yeah,
it's a great... it's a great response too, Rob, and I think love is a word we don't use a lot. It hasn't as a theme.
No,
it's a theme you and I could talk about because we're both romantics in a sense. Literary romantic. I'd say we're both literary romantics. I'd say that.
Yeah. We didn't want this show to get mushy though.
No, we don't like mushiness, but love doesn't have to be mushy. There's a very practical example. You are loved, and you can love. You're capable of love yourself. It's really important human. Characteristic and quality. Rob, I want to thank Rob as well for your time and particularly for your really generous sharing of your own personal story, which really helps bring light to what you're doing now. It really makes it clear why you're doing what you're doing and why it's working, because you've got such a depth of experience, of that personal experience, which you're so capable of articulating now, which I think, congratulations, that's fantastic. You're a really healthy and active and important person in our community. We're really pleased to have you here for all the people that you're helping out. Good on you.
No worries, guys. Thanks for having me. No worries. And equally, with what you guys do for all the ones that want to put their fingers in their ears and stick their heads in the sand. At least if they hear the stories, the reality, hopefully they might pull their fingers out of their ears, their heads out of the sand.
And see that people are really going through this shit in real life. It's not just not just stories.
Potentially recognising some of it in their own life. Somebody, if one person has a listen and go, you know what, that's actually I'm on the edge of that, and I'm going to do something about it. Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah, it would be. They contact you guys, or they contact someone else.
Absolutely.
They do something to take that step forward. Yeah. Fantastic.
So we're always looking for volunteers and good people. Not necessarily you don't need drug and alcohol pass. You just need a heart for people. Step in. And we either with us or anywhere, just help out.
Absolutely. The community needs it, for sure.
Very much so.
And we'll give Rob's foundation a bit of a talk up in our podcast. We'll give the contact details and so forth for people.
That'll be in the show notes, for sure. People will be able to contact through there.
No worries, guys.
All right, good on you.
Thanks,
Cheers, mate.
I love you, baby, but you gotta understand when the Lord